School was never meant to prepare you for life, only to convert you into an obedient and compliant worker. I understand that you learn basic skills and such, but at the end of the day, everything you are only taught because it's what employers want. They don't even try to hide it anymore, and students are willingly accepting it and rarely questioning it because we are all subject to it from an early age. To clarify, I'm not necessarily saying it's all bad, of course such qualities are needed in adult life, I'm just saying that the system could be doing so much more for us but it doesn't.
Awake. Yes, modern system was allegedly made to prepare children for work in factories, hence why classes begin and end with ringing a bell during Industrial Revolution.
This isn't so much an unpopular opinion as it is just a plain fact. Every culture, society indoctrinates its children. Whether that's bad or good is largely a point of view. The Pledge of Allegiance, for example, is very clearly indoctrination. But some people like it and think it patriotic, others take issue with it. Perspective.
30 points. With social media becoming such a mammoth shitstorm of lies, trolls and triggered fools it is, I'm convinced critical analysis, skepticism could be a school subject in some way. It might even fundamentally change the way society works for the better.
Every time I do a serial dilution, I thank 9th grade. This is not ironic. It's how I take a concentrated med and make it into something easier and safer to give.
This sounds like a high schooler wrote this.
It is not meant to prepare you for life, that is your parents' job. School teaches you a basic education so you can function better as a member of society, rather than be a leech on it. The failure of schools is allowing some students to show minimal effort and slow those trying to get ahead down. If you don't want to try to better yourself, that falls on the parents and the individual, not the school.
Actually, school does prepare you for life. All those bullshit classes actually teaches you how to use your head and how to take different approaches to complete a task. Without school you wouldn't know how to socialize with others, or be tolerant of other people who are raised different than you and have different mindsets other than the ones you're accustomed to. It teaches structure, and how to be consistent with a routine. In the real world, the majority of things you do and learn in school can easily be applied.
91 points. They teach you problem-solving skills and time management. These two things are essential in post-high school, college life.
This subreddit is called Unpopular Opinion.
33 points. I'm never going to have to use this math bullshit. Miss Teacher, maybe you won't, but the smart kids will.
This isn't an opinion, this is taught in any sociology classroom. This is fact and it's not hidden, people just refuse to acknowledge it.
School gives you the tools, the rest is on you.
The vast majority of us are destined to be obedient, compliant workers. Sounds like school does prepare us for life then.
Most people are going to grow up and have regular jobs, learning how to complete assignments and stay self-motivated is useful.
This belongs more in I am 14 and this is deep. Imagine thinking that your biology class on photosynthesis is meant to make you a compliant worker.
Okay, child.
Yeah, just let's ignore history, government, civics and ethics, economics, literature, art, languages, but oh boy, they showed me math and sciences to make me a machine.
Yes, what a shock. School helps you become a functional adult who can find a job.
This feels like a combo of naivety and 1 meter 14, and this is deep-esque cynicism.
This sounds like it was written by a high schooler, recent grad.
I don't know about that. I think it's mostly just meant train kids how to think and approach problems. Most people aren't really ever going to need to know geometry, but geometry engages the brain and makes you analyze things, and that's what's important.
School also teaches you how to learn. It's not only there to teach you discipline but also how to attain information and use it to expand your knowledge. Really, it depends on how you look at it. Emo.
No, school is a resource that can help actualize your goals. It's your responsibility to find a purposed direction in life. Obviously, it's a waste if you're going for the sake of going, and that already makes you an obedient and compliant person. So the issue is not with the education, it's with your attitude with regards to your own life.
Sweet Jesus, the misinformation in this thread is astounding. School is one of those things that everyone thinks they're an expert on because they've all gone through it. Only problem is very few people actually know what it's like from the other side of the desk. The school system is not some assembly line nonsense meant to convert you into an obedient and compliant worker. That is idiocy. There are public curriculum documents that show how much the school system emphasizes the exact opposite. You've just never seen them because you've never looked for the info that disproves your "school is killing us" theory.
Teaching you to be a good worker is preparing you for life.
I don't know about you, but my school was actually pretty open to student criticism. The first thing that we're taught was to always have a critical point of view. There was even one time where half of my batch had a walkout protest to reject a school policy, and the school ended up reverting it.
3 points. I don't think most of my teachers could have made it anywhere. Also, I did not need 8 years to learn about the American Revolution over and over and over again.
It's purely meant to condition you, for better or worse, to better cope with the expectations that society wants and needs you to fulfill.
What I hated and still am mad about in my adult life is that the music classes didn't teach composition or how to write music, just taught us how to read and spit out someone else's music.
Most countries are just exam factories.
What more could the system be doing then?
I disagree with this. School taught me to be independent. We had literature, which clearly isn't required by any employer or factory. We had history, which taught us everything about our mistakes as humans. And this shit about you don't actually use what you learn in school is untrue. If you paid attention, you would know that school taught you how to learn anything, and their aim was never to teach everything.
Unpopular opinion: doesn't matter what school is meant if you can think for yourself and get what you want out of it, it's great. I got great friends, great memories and basic knowledge plus some extra. Never even thought of it as something that's meant to prepare me for anything. If I need to get ready for something, I'll seek the help myself.
School just makes you a cog in the machine. Wake up, sheeple. S.
The only actual issue with school is that, indeed, universal education is a waste of time and resources on people who don't need, want, appreciate it. A third grader is likely more educated than their great-grandparents ever were, yet we have to endure entitled children moaning about how school creates sheeps for the capitalist system. You don't like it? Does studying medieval history or reading Pride and Prejudice interfere with your video game schedule or with your precious me time on YouTube? Do you think you'll never need to know Euclid's theorem? Fine, move to some remote village on the countryside and live like a 1800s farmer. Or, better yet, relocate to a rural area in a third world country. Nobody will care if you don't go to school, and you'll be almost free from the horrors of being an obedient employee. Seriously, folks. Not so long ago, people could only dream of having access to education and to the chance to improve their life and status. And because you have too easy now, you don't really get how lucky you are.
Yeah, school doesn't teach about basic communication skills, which should be taught as early as 7th or 8th grade. Schools don't even teach the importance of having personal values.
Schools should really spend time teaching kids about mortgages, pensions, investments, etc. I was never taught any of this and was just expected to know it as an adult.
school prepped me for a $350K per year job. You are just stupid or lazy or both.